Hello, Lasaman. How's it going? I wanted to do something a little bit different today. I know I've been kind of slacking on my language videos, and again, mainly because the light inside my house is just terrible at this time of the year, and I'm still working on getting some good lighting. So I could come out here, where, as you can see, it's decent lighting, but it's not really the greatest place at the moment to do language videos. I might work on something though soon. But what I wanted to show you today is this cool find. I don't know if you can see that there behind me. But see that mound? That is an ant house. An entire colony, city, I guess it would be. There's supposedly somewhere around 10,000, no, 100,000 ants living in this mound. And pretty impressive. Right now it's frozen. They're in there, so I'm safe. They're not going to try to get me, although they're really not that dangerous. As far as I know, I've handled them, and they will pinch you. They got pretty big pinchers, but and stingers, I'm sure. But they're not anything dangerous unless you're allergic to them, as far as I know. So, yeah, they are a little nuisance because they're fairly large. They can grow to be about, a good inch long. About a centimeter and a half, I guess, 2 centimeters, something like that. I'm still trying to learn all the conversion from US. But they're big. They get very large, and they're not really aggressive, but if you go and try to shoo them away, then they all of a sudden flip and try to bite you, and they do get aggressive if you bug them, which, naturally, if you bug an animal, it's going to want to attack you, right? So I wanted to show you this. Let me switch to the other camera and get a little bit closer, better view here. So here it is, and this is the, what's called Røde Skogsmaur. That's the red forest ants, and it's kind of an interesting name because, as far as I know, they're black. I've never seen any red ones, but maybe they're really dark red, and they look black to me because I am colorblind, so it's a very, very good possibility. They just could be a very, very dark red, burgundy color and just look black to me. Who knows? But, yeah, so as you can see, this thing is very large. It stands probably about a meter, I guess. Again, conversion-wise, I really don't know. See, in relationship, that sign is about to my armpit. Yeah, I'm not super tall. I'm under 6 foot, but I don't know. The hill goes probably waist height, so it's large. I don't know the conversions. Maybe I'll put them down below if I can go back home and do the conversions for you. But as you can see, the base of this thing is all the way down here, and that is soft. It goes lower. I'll step further back so you can see. So the trail that I'm walking on is about here, and then some grass growing, and then there's the hill. So it's a nice, good size. So den røde skogsmauren is the red forest ants. And there's their scientific name. So it's saying here about that there's approximately 5,000 different species of ants throughout the world, and only about 40 of them are found in Norway, which is surprisingly a small amount considering how much forest land there is. And so this is how they build their home. This is cross-section. So here's the bottom, the roots of the tree that it's standing next to. And they normally will butt up against a tree to give them good support. And then they got all their tunnels. It says throughout here that they can be man height and hold over 100,000 inside. And they make lots of tunnels and whatnot, and during the spring they'll come out and warm themselves in the sun, and you see the whole mountain here twitching with little ant legs and whatnot getting warmed up. And then once they're all nice and warm, they'll go out and start looking for small animals, small deer, plants, soap, which is mushrooms or fungus, and this one's kind of interesting, the milkesaft fra bladlus. Now, bladlus are aphids. See if you can tell right in here, there's a little drawing of these aphids. If you're not sure what those are, they're these little green bugs that go on plants, and they drink the sap out of plants, and then they go and squirt out this milksoft, as they call it. So the ants go and drink that. So it's like this sugary syrup that the aphids secrete, and the ants drink that. So they kind of harvest or treat the aphids like cattle and move them around and take care of them. It's kind of an interesting sight. We had a tree over by our house over the summertime that had a bunch of them on there, and I just noticed that the ants were circling around, and I started getting close taking pictures, and the ants started kind of getting mad and trying to come towards me. So they definitely do take care of them. So anyways, during the winter time, they're able to create their own warmth, their body heat here, and they go inside underground, down underneath the mound here, and they warm themselves up with their own body heat. So it's a pretty cool little thing they got going on. So this definitely doesn't end right here. It goes down underneath into the dirt too. So it's a pretty impressive. Let's get down here to their point of view. Pretty impressive structure they build. All it's made out of is just sticks and leaves and mostly pine needles. And they just go around and you see them all summer and springtime collecting these things to build them. And this is actually a relatively small one from what I've seen. Normally they're, I don't know, maybe, I don't know if I can show you, but maybe like that much higher from what I've seen, probably about that much wider. So they'll go like this. So they're pretty impressive, and especially when you come upon one hiking and you see a trail of the ants, and then you go and look where they're going, and you see this giant, just wiggling mountain. I mean, literally all these little things are moving around, and it's because there's just ants all over building this thing. It's kind of an interesting sight. If you don't like bugs and you don't like ants, it's a scary sight. So yeah, I think it's interesting. But there it is. Den røde skogsmauren. Røde skogsmauren. Not necessarily the ants themselves, because you can't see. They're all inside hibernating right now. This thing is more or less frozen. But that's their home. So anyways, I just thought I would show you something a little bit different than the normal inside my house view. And give you a little bit of science, I guess. Some Norwegian cultural forest knowledge. So if you're ever out hiking in Norway and you come upon one of these things, just leave it alone. You know, there's nothing to do. You don't want to dig in it because, you know, like I said, they're not really dangerous, but I'm sure if you get 100,000 of these things swarming on you because you just disturbed their home, you're not going to be too happy. They will bite. And I know on average, as far as I'm aware, all ants have some sort of acid that they squirt, inject, or whatever. So it will be painful to some extent, I'm sure. So just leave it alone. But it's cool to watch. If you get it during the summertime or springtime, it's really interesting to see them at work and building this thing, and just seeing the just thousands of them all over it, you know, wriggling around and whatnot. So anyways, yeah, just thought you'd like to see that. Anyways, if you have any questions, comments, feel free to leave them down below. And yeah, if you like what I'm doing, give me the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I got some more stuff coming in the near future. And thanks for watching. Until next time, ha det bra.